Yeah?
I just felt like that's what it called for.
It didn't call for shoulders?
It didn't call for shoulders.
That's for a Jennifer Lopez beat. But it's all good. Go ahead, babe. Keep talking.
What's going on, guys? This is Nicole with the For Real Podcast with my co-host.
Monty, sorry about that, guys. Just trying to make sure that the mic isn't too loud.
You might be asking yourself, Nicole, why do you sound like you got water up your nose and you just came from out of the pool? Because today done kicked my butt.
Today?
So I didn't think the heat bothered me, but I'm pretty sure that's why I needed a nap.
Period, or like today? Just
today.
Okay.
Yeah. No, just the weather today. I didn't go under the tree with you and Colby. I sat out on the bench.
Shout out Colby. Yeah.
Colby and Bonnie.
Out there in Little Burn, baby.
Oh, not Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Colby. Bonnie and Colby.
There you go, Bonnie and Colby.
Love it.
Yeah, I didn't go under the tree with you guys, so I was just under that sun.
Oh my God, I know you were there baking, but see, this was the thing, was that either you were going to bake under the sun, but you had lumbar support from the bench.
Right.
When I tell you my lower back crack was blasted, I mean, obliterated. Like, I sat down there for maybe 15 minutes, and I mean, dang.
Yeah.
Hurting. That's why I had to get up
Yep,
and
I
choose
saw you.
hell
Or high
fire
water.
on my forehead to have some lumbar support. But go on.
Yeah, so I
God.
think being under the sun took
The
me
heat is
out.
serious.
And it only reached like 84, 85 today. But I haven't been used to that. It's been nice and chilly.
Yeah.
So that made me tired, and that's why I had to take a nap, and that's why I'm so tired right now. But my allergies, just an invasion on my sinus
What's it
cavity.
like to have allergies? Because the only thing that I know is like once in a while I have like those sneeze attacks for like maybe a week, and then my eyes itch. That'll be it. Like my eyes will itch like they're dry. That's it though. What is it like? Explain it to me.
It's, I mean, where do I start? You got the itchy throat. It feels like you took...
Slow down. Slow down.
Oh, I have to do this with my left hand.
Come on, pick it up. I'm on my left too. Y'all, we support local out here if y'all didn't already know. This is probably one of the best breakfast places, one of the best. Top has to be.
First watch.
Second watch is another broken egg.
Dunwoody, though.
Specifically Dunwoody.
Yes.
Because we've been to the one in Alpharetta and it's good, but the vibe ain't it. But the one in Dunwoody, though. So, Dunwoody, another broken egg. We know you're watching. Thank you for the mugs. Go ahead, babe.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
Allergies. Let's see. You got the itchy throat. Your sinus, like the back of it, just feels like somebody is poking you with a needle, like it stings.
Yeah.
People with allergies know, you get me. The eyes are itchy, but when you scratch them, they get puffy. You can't breathe. You're just dripping.
No,
You're
cool.
dripping from like every orifice.
Dripping.
It's just, God, I mean, you want to talk about an inconvenience. That's about it.
Dude, allergies definitely sound terrible. I hate being sick. I rarely ever get sick. But man, a woman knows when their man gets sick, they are just, I mean, a punk. Like, I'll go to work, obviously, but when I'm like down bad, like, I mean, when I had the vid, boy, I mean, I was the worst. I was milking it, boy. But don't get me wrong, God, worst headache I ever had in my life. Body aches were crazy. I think that was all. Really, real quick story, just because I feel like I told the story, and I think it's funny, maybe because it's a have to be there moment, but man, I remember I was at work. I've told the story a million times, but I was at work, and I mean, I was taken.
I love hearing this story.
Oh, you do?
Because I wasn't there,
Let's
and it's
go.
so funny because you don't act like that.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I am not the type to be out here just slumped for no reason. Anyway, back to the story. So I'm at work, kind of slow day. I'm feeling terrible. Like, I just felt like drained. You know, you ever felt like just drained of all your energy? Like, I mean, it didn't make sense to me. All I could do was take a box. I broke down a cardboard box. I laid it down on the floor, and I just laid there in despair, like. And all I hear is Sydney in the back going, Monty? You good? And I'm like, dude, I just feel so drained. I just remember just feeling like my body was there, but I was not there in spirit.
And you're not. That's what makes it funny, is like having to know you, because you are the one who will like trump through it until the end of the day when you know bedtime is coming. You're like, I could get through anything because I know my bed is waiting for me when the day is over.
Shower, eat, bed. Maybe even not eat, but shower for sure. Bedtime, baby, and I'll be feeling good. But what was worse than that was that I also had a haircut appointment. Now, mind you, for anyone who's going to judge me, I did not know that I had the vid yet, but I did take a rapid test.
And we hadn't been around anybody who had COVID.
Not exposed to anyone. I did take a rapid test, and then I went to my barber appointment. And man, dude, my barber at the time probably took an hour, maybe an hour 10 to do my hair and beard. Everything was straight. Like, I mean, I had my body aches, whatever. I'm there. And as I'm there, you know, when you're going to get your beard done, they knock you back. And then they put the whatever, whether it's cream or oil, and then they lay down the hot towel. Feels great. Lay down the hot towel, and he's doing my beard. And I mean, I treated that thing like I was a child. Like, I'm over there like. And he goes,
ladies, when you're getting your hair washed,
he goes, like, it's okay, we're almost done. Like, you know, not like that, but he's like, bro, we're almost done. And I just felt like I was taken back to a younger time where he's like, it's okay, Junior, we're almost done, here's a lollipop. No, you're just like tripping. But bro, I was just like, oh, I'm straight, bro. I just got body aches. Like I'm not complaining about, you know, you doing my hair. But yeah. And then I was like, bro, just I feel like trash. So wear a mask and get checked before you go to your family. You know, that was my version of helping someone.
Well,
and it turns out I had COVID.
And then you ended up telling him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I told
him.
Yeah, I was like, you know,
anybody just no.
Go get checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We wasn't being irresponsible. We took I think I took like 4, almost 5 days off of work, something crazy like that. Yeah, it was crazy. But that was the vid. Now on to our regular scheduled program.
Yeah.
Guys, we're doing a fun movie, man. I mean, a movie that I enjoy, a movie that I think was well done.
It's kind of a comfort movie.
Yeah, based off of a
Feel
book.
good. Yeah,
you know. To anyone who has pets, I feel like you love this movie, and you might also.
We're talking to you today.
Yes, shout out to the pet owners out there.
Yes, all the dog moms and dog dads.
Specifically, dog owners. We don't with cats around here. None of that. All right?
I kind of do now. Georgia has somewhat shifted me over a little bit.
Could never. Cats could never do this movie. You think a cat could do what this dog did in this movie?
Not.
Could never.
Never.
But we're talking about a specific movie, babe. What movie are we talking about?
We're talking about Marley and Me. Buffalo Soldier. No woman, no cry.
Such a good movie.
Such a great movie, which
Directed
is why
by,
I howled in the beginning.
For real. Directed by, if you don't mind, David Frankel, starring Jennifer Aniston. Oh, look it. Our pup just came in. What's up, bub?
Because we started getting
He
wild.
heard the howls. He was like, what it do, though? You called? Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson. Baby, give it a little intro.
Marley and Me is literally, from beginning to end, the story of a family who adopts a dog and how that dog fits into their life and the different milestones that they go through. New jobs, children, new house, new location. You know, they relocate geographically.
What a choice, too, right? Like, I mean, from Michigan to Florida. Sheesh.
To Philadelphia?
Back up. Well, where's Michigan? Is that up north?
I feel like it's a little Midwest.
Okay, Midwest. Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's high.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
over by the lakes.
Yeah, because it gets cold in Detroit. I mean, obviously it snowed in the movie, so. Okay, yeah. Such a weird change. And then to go back. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. And I don't know. You're just kind of like, well, you know, I never saw A Dog's Purpose or A
Me
Dog's
neither.
Life, something like that. So it's just
Beethoven.
kind of like, how do they make a movie focusing on a dog, but like
Yeah.
surrounding family events? And if you're a dog owner, you get it. Like, your dog does go through life with you.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
look at right now. We're doing this podcast, and he just wants to decide to lick the tripod.
And we
that's
will
not
remember
secured.
it because his collar is literally in our intro.
Of
like,
course.
It's just that. It's the way they fit into your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that. And the movie ends, you know, with spoiler alert. This is the podcast of spoilers. Spoiler alert. The dog does die. So but it kind of just shows how like he was a part of the foundation of the family, and he's gone this long, and the way that he's grown with them and helped them grow. You know,
Yeah.
he was technically their first child before they had any children.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful, beautiful story, guys.
I really like how the movie opens up too. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Like she said, we are the podcast filled with spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie, it is currently streaming on HBO Max. Also, if you want to save a little money, I just found this out. Go act like you're about to cancel your subscription to HBO Max, and they will then offer you HBO Max for 3 months, half charge. I thought that was pretty crazy and kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, the way they open up the movie is really cool. It's Owen Wilson as John Grogan telling the story of like what it is to have a dog, how he is, you know, man's best friend. He will walk beside you through life, blah, blah, blah. And it's a little boy walking down this nice little field of wheat. And he's just with his dog and a stick. And he's like, but that wasn't my story. I'm not even that kid right there. And then it's him chasing after his
Yeah, it's
golden
like a
retriever.
real Beethoven movie.
Yeah, and I was like, man, what a moment, what a move, like, you know what I'm saying? And then just seeing Owen Wilson just jet right there, and then it pans back to back when they got married, right, in Michigan. But I just thought that was so cool because it's like, oh, this is so sweet. It's so great to have a dog. To dog owners, I think that's probably what it is the perfect like perspective of like what it is to own a dog. Like, oh, they're so cute. Oh, they're so sweet. They're so smart. Which he is. Look at this little guy. He's just laying
He just
there.
grabbed his little antlers so he could chew next
you
to
know,
us.
right next to the lamp, just chilling. But at any moment, once we go outside, it could be chaos. It
Yeah.
could be extreme chaos. We didn't take Ritz to the park for 3 weeks. Don't kill us. Life got crazy. But we took him today, and sometimes it feels like he regresses in the training. Sometimes he knows when I say slow down, and he'll slow down. He'll give the leash some slack, and some days he will test and he will pull.
He will test.
And he will pull. And he won't listen. Like I called him today. We were at the park, and a dog was trying to come at him. Little dog, but still pretty little vicious dog, barking, looked like it would bite him. I'm like, Ritz, come. Clapping at him, Ritz, come. Now he's looking at me, side-eyeing me. But he wasn't even bothering to look at me when I
Like
told
he
him.
wasn't even there.
Yeah, not phased in the slightest until I'm just like, listen to me, little dog. Like I'm trying to help you. But it is a ride. This is my first dog fully mine, from basically a baby, puppy, whatever, till however long we have him. And it's been a little ride, and he's been a cool little guy. I kind of went off with the movie thing, but yeah, it's not all peaches and cream.
It's not.
It's not all our Instagram story shows.
I happily tell people this. Like, I love dogs, but I will take any opportunity I can to tell people, like,
Break
you
that-
don't know what you're getting
shatter the
yourself
glass.
into. Yeah. You really don't know what you're getting yourself into until you have one, until you've babysat one, maybe for like a week or something. That's a good starter.
Oh, dude. And this is going to be a little spicy right here, but I think I should do it. This is how you know that animals are not all you think they are. You know, they're more than just something that's cute that you just hold on to. The secure, what is it, baby? Therapy dog. Like, you know what I mean? It's more than that, because this is a clear fact, because in my family, love my dad. Great guy. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, great, love him. And as a dad, you want your kid to have a pet, right? Cool. We had a lot of pets growing up. At one point when I would stay with my dad on the weekends, and that really hasn't changed. But I always wonder where the pets end up going. They don't die. I don't think they die, but then they leave, and then we get not we they he gets more, and then they leave, and then they get more, and I'm just like, what's going on? Clearly, something isn't working with them, with the animal, and I really think it's something that future owners should really consider. It's a big responsibility. Yes, I know you can leave your dog and you can't leave your child at home. I get that, but it's still a big responsibility. Food, vet appointments, if they have allergies with like LEILA, if they have any conditions, like you just don't know. And then anything could happen to the dog while you have it. Then you have to take care of them while they're sick, unless you're a person with a terrible conscience and doesn't care, and you just recycle. But you shouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that with a person. Don't do it with an animal, man. They look at you, they love you. Just treat them right and love on them.
They are actual living things, guys. They are going, as long as you've done your job and taken care of them, they are going to get old.
Yeah.
The amount of senior dogs that end up in shelters and await new homes in their senior years because they do become more high maintenance. They might be a little difficult. It just comes with the territory. Again, you wouldn't do it with a human. Why would you do it with a dog?
Let's talk about, because you said more high maintenance. You can expand on like Layla's situation, and if you know any other situations, please share. Like, just so people can know. I think this is important to share.
Dude, Layla was a walk in the park compared to other people.
Yeah.
Layla could still walk until her last day. She could still use the bathroom more or less on her own till her last breath. There are people who have to get continuous surgeries.
Yeah.
There are people who have to get different apparatuses to help their dogs get around.
Yeah.
Layla, the most I ever really had to do with her was get ear medicine and eye medicine. Other than that, everything else was pretty standard, from the time that I've had her.
And what about like other people's situations, like if you know of any?
Other people, more like continuous medicine that they have to pay for. Like I know a neighbor who her dog just had a very sensitive stomach and would always have to get checked.
Yeah.
Would always have to make sure that they have a certain diet. That was the other thing too. Layla's diet wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
Like she just needed to be on a senior diet, but other people, their dogs can only eat XYZ. And I mean, the allergies might be more severe for other animals. Like, I moved to Georgia and I didn't obviously think it over because I have terrible allergies too. But other dogs probably couldn't even move here.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. The amount of people who still look for new residences and you can't bring your animal.
Yeah.
So the option is to get rid of the animal.
That's not it.
Like, you just don't understand the trauma that you cause to these animals because you're all they know.
And if I can speak of one thing that I've realized, like having Ritz, if there's any dogs that are like him that have that separation anxiety, and he's still not crate trained, but I would imagine until they're crate trained, they are just there. For instance, there was a time where Ritz would barked for literally, an hour, 2 hours while we're not here at the door, scratching at the door. There's paint that came off of our door because of him. Essentially, I would imagine he's missing us or like scared because he's alone. Like, we don't know the situation, right? Dogs can't talk. But if he's not like that when we are here and he is like that when we're not here, something is not right with, he's feeling something uncomfortable.
Yeah. So,
that just makes sense. So imagine if you just up and leave them and you were with them for a year, maybe 2 years. You said some leave them when they're seniors. You can only imagine what they feel. But I don't want to get too sidetracked, but a lot of these things are pointed out in the movie too. I know they're done very like it's easy, a little easier, except for the ending obviously, but they do show the transition of the dog and the moment when it's fun and it's cute, and then the moment where it's like, oh shoot, what's good with my dog? Why is he bugged out like this? Or when he's unruly and you're trying to raise him, like, again, not to make a comparison, but like kids with terrible twos, when it's just like they don't listen to anything, so I just think it's a really good movie for anyone who's considering to be a dog owner. And if you want a good family time movie and laugh, this thing is great, man.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'm
Go
hop
for
right
it.
in.
I'm excited. I love this movie.
Nice. So I'm gonna hop right into casting. I mean, dude, I think Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson.
Oh, their chemistry.
Oh, yes. So like them two, the best friend Sebastian, his boss, even the neighbor next door, the woman who's doing the sonogram on her, like trying to see her ultrasound. All little characters, nothing too big. But every single person did their job.
Yeah.
I feel like
it was a great fit.
Yeah, I feel like it was a great cast. Could I see someone else doing this? Could you see a different woman doing this and a different man? And if so, who? I'm trying to think. While I know this is kind of off the cuff. Excuse me. I'm trying to think.
Oddly enough, the guy from that we were literally just talking about from Stanford Prison Experiment.
Okay.
From Spotlight.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
And from Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah, just so everybody else can maybe guess
you could see
who
him
I'm...
as the husband doing that.
Yeah, I could see him as John because he just looks like a family guy. Like he looks like he could be turned into
he's like normal.
a Barbie doll.
Yeah, he's like a normal looking guy. And that was the one thing with like Owen Wilson and just this movie. There's a lot of points that I wrote here. I mean, it's right here. Acting normal. That's it. I mean, he's playing an average guy. Jennifer Aniston is playing an average woman. They're both people who write for newspapers. They have really average lives for the most part. Great lives, right? They have beautiful family. They get to do what they like to do. They have a great dog, all these things, but nonetheless, nothing glamorous, like regular. But I think the cast was a 5.
Honestly,
go.
I don't even want to say the cast, but like the cast themselves acted so well that I wouldn't change anything just because of how they delivered it.
Yeah.
And I don't even like Owen Wilson like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't care for his movies.
But that's what I think, right? Like, I feel like maybe he can do more regular roles.
So that's what I was going to say is like if I saw Owen Wilson maybe play this guy in other
of
movies.
Like Starsky and Hutch. Instead of like the guy in Meet the Parents.
Yeah. Like
he's not that funny.
He's not. And I feel like he kind of almost acts the same.
Always.
At least when he's in those kinds of roles.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that same type of guy for sure. And I like him. But I get what you're saying. I don't think he's like hilarious. He's like one of those people, like if I see him in the movie, I'm like, I'm not gonna turn it off. It's not gonna like it's not gonna make or break. I'm like, oh yeah, we can keep this on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's definitely nothing too crazy. But I'm trying to think of if I could think of another guy to like play this character, and I hate that I thought of like Ben Stiller after just talking about Owen Wilson because they're like in the same category. They do so many movies together.
Yeah.
Meet the Parents. I feel like he was in Tropic Thunder. What else? Meet the Fockers. Zoolander. Starsky and Hutch. Like they just did so many movies together. But I know if I sat and thought about it, I'd probably find one person. But honestly, I just think those two together did so well. If we're gonna talk about anyone, I really don't like Jennifer Aniston in movies. I think her peak to me was Friends. That was her moment. Her right there is like great, cool. Yeah, she was in Horrible Bosses, but just like in Friends though.
That was so weird.
Dude, yeah,
that was such a weird cameo. It was so out of pocket.
She wasn't even a cameo. She was in the movie.
Yeah.
Like she was a role. She had a role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's it called? But like even when I told you I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw that picture of the cast of Friends and it was on the vinyl and they showed everyone in normal clothes, but they had Jennifer Aniston under a blanket, obviously trying to look like she had no clothes on. But they always are trying to put her in this like sexual type of situation.
Yeah, and I was
she's
gonna
pretty,
say,
don't
like,
get me wrong. I think she's a beautiful woman, but like
they had her next to Adam Sandler in a few movies.
Okay.
And
Blended.
Just go with it. And what is it? Murder Mystery?
Yeah. Which that's cool that they did that many movies together.
next to a regular guy. Like
Regular.
Adam Sandler is a regular guy.
Regular. But
And
her, even there, right? Even in that movie, they would
they've
switch her.
glamorized her.
They switch her. Like, she'll be normal, and then they're trying to do, like, what's that movie?
What?
She's All That. The switch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they really, like, they do her up in those
Yes.
movies. So it's almost like, I agree. Because even when she was in that movie with Gerard Butler, The Bounty.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter.
You know, they really, like, sexified her up.
Yeah. That's what
I
I'm
didn't know
saying.
that was the only word that could
That's
come
all
to
right.
mind.
It's cool.
But in this one, I love that they downplayed her and
Yes.
they didn't do anything extreme.
Dude,
they
and
kept her
she
as a
looked-
regular Jane Doe.
And she looked great. I was
Yeah.
just like, this is the Rachel from Friends that I always found
Yeah.
attractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she didn't look like she had any work done. She had regular clothes. Like, her hair was normal. Like, it was normal, but it was still like, dude, normal's okay. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
fine. They didn't.
You
They had
still
old
absolutely
cars.
love them, love
Yeah.
watching them.
It just felt, I guess, low key nostalgic. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think they did great together. Just moving to the next,
Mm-hmm.
chemistry. I mean, just to tie it all together, them two together
Mm-hmm.
was such a perfect fit. There's this one moment where they're going. Let's start, I guess, kind of in the beginning. Yeah, I mean, really, the whole like first quarter of the movie, they're in Michigan. They just got married, and they're like, you know, what was your plan? She's like, well, first, to meet a handsome handsome man with money, successful, blah blah blah. He's like, and Owen Wilson goes, check. What's next? And then she goes, marry you, and just like jokes with him, and he's like, crush, whatever. But it's like that playful chemistry between a husband and a wife. Love that. Then they go and they're in Florida and they're looking for jobs. This is probably the one thing I'm going to switch a little. The pace is good, but is also like unrealistic.
Very unrealistic. Yeah.
That I don't really care for.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're in Florida and they have to go find jobs. So he goes to find his job at this newspaper, and once it's done, she's like, she hypes him up. First of all, she's like, "You're gonna get the job. You're John freaking Grogan. Like, you're the man. Go do it." And I'm like, dude, that is a partnership right there. Like, just championing the other one.
Yeah.
Then comes back and just celebrates him, and then she has to go on a trip somewhere, and she has to take a plane, and the way that they say goodbye, he's like, your hair looks pretty, or yeah, your hair looks pretty, I love you. And she's like, all right, goodbye, I love you, bye. And it's just like,
All right, I love you. Bye.
yeah, it was just so like organic, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that was cool. I really enjoyed that. I'm sorry, I'm
No. And
no. That
So-
sounds like a song right there. No. Sorry. No.
that's definitely a song.
Isn't it?
Yeah, producer listening to this, go ahead and sample that. We
Little
give you the
Indian track.
permission.
Hey, yo.
Don't. Don't. Let's just cut that right there. Anyway, moving along. There's a part.
Out of pocket.
There's a part where. Yeah, I'm really trying to just act like that didn't even happen. What
I'm
happened?
Sweating.
I just like to.
I'm about to cry. You can't even think.
I'm
We're
trying
talking
so
about
hard.
the chemistry being organic.
Yeah, so right, Jennifer Aniston, beautiful woman, and it's funny because there's a lot of power shift in the movie, and they do it so well. So like in the beginning, Jennifer Aniston's a really successful reporter. She's
Yeah.
a reporter, and Owen Wilson's character becomes he's like a local reporter, you know, it's just like a tier down,
Super low key.
and then becomes a columnist. So, you know, she's a little bit more successful. She's kind of, she's got a bit more achievement on her belt. And then there's a situation where she has a miscarriage. And again,
Dude.
like this shift
That
where
part.
all of a sudden she seems so like, just broken, and, you know, defenseless, hopeless.
Just the opposite of her like opening character.
Yeah, not as strong, you know. And then Owen Wilson, you just see as like this very comforting, strong partner for her.
Again, beautiful. Like, that's marriage, bro.
Yeah.
If you have a good one,
Yeah.
go.
Again, she gets pregnant again. She becomes a mother. She loves being a mother. She feels like a strong mom who wants to become a stay-at-home mom. She makes this bold decision for their family. She quits her job, becomes a stay-at-home mom. But then I think it's by the second child,
Yeah.
it becomes too much and she can't handle it. And again, it's just a very overstimulated, overwhelming situation. And Owen Wilson steps up to be like the husband to, shift where does the family need to maneuver differently for it to work for them. So, and that's the entire movie, and that's, I think, only about 25 half an hour minutes in that we see that dynamic.
And if I could jump in, if you don't mind, but like, so they have the one child. She ends up becoming pregnant with the second. Like she said, starts to get stressed with the both of them. We talked about how she made this very like admirable decision to be there with her family. Also a tough decision because, right, you end up saying goodbye to your career. Essentially, it's like you push your identity aside so you can be mom. You want to be a great mom. You want your kids to have a great life, which is, again, admirable, noble. But then after a moment, the stress just outweighs, what I'm saying? Because it doesn't stop. I'm not a parent, but I have friends who are parents. I have a mom and a dad, and it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
I have a mother-in-law. It does not stop. So like to put everything that you really care about your own life on hold so that you could obviously do something very admirable is great, but it's like, oof, and you see it and you feel it when you see she's what's the word? There's a word, like the postpartum, that depression. She was she has like postpartum depression, that breakdown. Like, I mean, she is like seeing red essentially too. Like she is not, her partner is her partner, but she's like, you're not helping. Like this dog is not helping. You better fix this. Like, get him out of here. I want him out. He's ruining everything. Like, which, dude, it'll happen. And I don't even know. That's just not just, that's with kids. That can happen normally. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're just going through life and it's just like, we got to figure something out, And yeah, there was a point where he was so nice and caring, but then there's also that breaking point. That was the word, that breaking point too, where he's like, I remember he's like, oh, like, it's so good, like, you're such a pleasure to be around. Like, I come home and she's like, you're such a jerk, and he's like, you're over here screaming at me and this, that, and the third, and I'm like, dude, it's rough, man. Those moments in this movie is where I'm like, this is real. This is real.
And this is where I think the director, the writers, they do a fantastic job of still keeping it on the dog too, because we were talking before about like the different stages of dogs and owning a dog. And again, in the beginning, it's just them two. They just moved to Florida. They got their cute little house and they have their first dog. And it's just like, this is where all of our love and affection can go to. And yeah, he's a little crazy sometimes, but he's so cute and he's ours. Now you got kids. Now he's an inconvenience. Now it's just like, I can't tolerate this because I have actual children to take care of. And dogs will be an inconvenience. They will. You know?
Unless you got the ones that are just like doing their own thing, like LEILA. But this little boy here.
But even LEILA wasn't like that her whole life, you know?
Oh, yeah. I know. But well, I'm not going to say because I wasn't there the whole time. But I'm thinking about when she was 7, she was basically the same person. The only time she would care to come out is if there was food. You know what I'm saying? And if she had to pee.
And that's the other thing, too. Little side note. Do your research on what breed works best for your lifestyle. Don't get a dog because it's cheap, because it's cute, because somebody's giving it away, and it's just convenient to get it that way.
And you can say no. I don't know if any of y'all know that. You can deny things that are free.
So do your research on what breed works for you. We did a test one time, like a personality test, to find out what dog was like a best match for us. And do you remember what dog you got?
No.
You got a Corgi.
Okay. Is that the weird looking one with the weird head that they look like they have the tiny legs?
Tiny legs, and then it always has like the butt that's like wobbling.
The one that we see at the park with the vest.
Yeah. The spy dogs.
I could see that. Yeah.
Personality wise and like lifestyle wise, you were best fit for a Corgi. So just do your research. If you're a chill person, don't get a higher energy dog. If you have a small apartment, don't get a big dog. So on and so forth. All things to think about. But yeah, so I love that the director can somehow still show you the different stages of Marley's life among their lives. So I thought that was really well done.
Same. Keep talking.
Was that everything for cast and chemistry?
For that,
and
yeah. But now we're gonna go and move on to writing, pace, and believability.
Oh, so
For me,
perfect.
what? Super pay?
What? I said so perfect.
Oh, okay.
Because
good.
I had said that about the writing and intertwining Marley with the, what were their last names?
Grogan.
Grogan. We've been saying that the whole time. Why didn't I remember that?
It happens when I'm just start doing stuff on the side. You don't know how to focus.
I know. It's so true. I always talk about you having a
I'm
one
just like,
track
go
mind.
ahead and keep on, and you just
and how
can't.
I can like multitask, but for some reason, when it comes to you, oh wow, okay,
Left.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was written really well.
Yeah. I think it was written okay. It was pretty normal. Like that's really the word that I can use. It was normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like writing itself. The only certain moments that I really liked was like the honesty of like when he's doing the interview, remember, and he's just like, why do you think, or do you think you're better than the 6 grad kids that came in here who want to be journalists? Who's like, I don't think I'm better than them, but I do know that I have a knack to surprise myself. And he was like, I never thought I'd get into college, but I did. Graduated with honors. I never thought I'd get a girl like Jenny, and I did. You know what I mean? All these little things. I'm like, that's cool. Like, that was really solid.
Yeah.
I
don't know if we mentioned it, but it is based on a book, guys. So
yeah, by the author is John Grogan, the person that Owen Wilson is playing. Go check that out. And it's called Marley Me, if you didn't know that already. And there's a part when she's having the miscarriage. It's small, but I don't know. I guess it's just like when the doctor comes in, there's certain people that they have side characters and they're really just so fluent in that role. And the old doctor, she's great too, the one who did the ultrasound.
Yeah.
But when the doctor comes in, he's like, hey guys, like he pulls out the stethoscope and he's like, hey guys, let's see how the baby's doing.
With his hand sanitizer. How
like
you guys
he's ready
doing today?
Yeah, like ready to go.
You've seen that guy.
And then he's checking, and she's like, and you said you're how long? She says whatever. And then he's like, I'm sorry, Jen. There's no heartbeat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just not what we expect to see at 10 weeks.
Dude, just simple, but you feel it, And then Jennifer Aniston locks it in with that little lip tremble, very slight.
And she like fixes her eyes to do a stare.
1,000-mile glance, bro.
Yeah.
Like just locked in. I'm like, dang, bro, that was so freaking rough. But though there's great writing in that sense, the pace are dry. The pace of the movie is it's just too unrealistic. Like, okay, let's get married. Boom, we're married. Okay, now let's move to Florida. First of all, they moved to Florida and they're driving like a 1989 Toyota Tercel and a Honda Civic. I'm like, y'all did not drive that from Detroit or wherever part of Michigan y'all were in. Okay, then they're there, whatever. They get the job. Cool. They go ahead. Now what's next? Let's get a house. They just go get a house. It takes 3 months for you to get a house. What are you talking about? You don't just up and get a house. They get the house. They go ahead. They're doing the job. Whatever. They get this dog. You know what I'm saying? Let's get pregnant. Like, it's just one thing after another. So that is just...
Let's get pregnant again. Let's get another house with a pool.
Yeah, bro. And it's just like the time. The only part where the time, like, you can... I guess it's okay. That's Rich drinking water. Sorry. The only time where it's like, okay, is when you start seeing the kids get older. And then it's... towards the end looks more natural, them getting older together, them having a family, them slowing down. That's where I feel like it's more natural when he goes and sees Sebastian when he's in Philadelphia. And I'm like, okay, this is like starting to like wind down. There is where I feel like they were starting to like really get it. Believability, I feel like it's pretty good in the sense of like being the dog owner. Again, I'm still learning this, but from what I've heard from you, things I've seen, I feel like this is very believable.
Oh, yeah. And I think what I love, too, is you see the different kind of, it's definitely first world problems.
Yeah.
But, like, seeing the different conflicts that they try to tackle, like having a growing family. Honestly, the one conflict that really always sticks with me is, like, being offered the job in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Because I'm so big on, like... is this where I'm planting my feet? I don't like being unstable. So to think like I moved all the way to Florida, I got a job and I started succeeding at that job. I got a promotion, I got raises, And then now I get an offer to uproot my family again and move to not even just a different area in the state, but a different state of the country. It's just like
a climate that your children are not aware of because they're used to the heat. They were born here. That's what I feel like people don't realize too. It's like you're uprooting. Like they're used to one thing and you're taking them out of the one thing that they're used to.
The only friends they've ever made.
And now I understand though that thing with like obviously lack of stability, but like children moving and uprooting because dude, when we came here, we've said it before, but I mean first 2 years were rough, but dude, the first like 2-3 months, I mean I had a legit panic attack the first time in my whole life, and I didn't even understand. When I first moved here, the actual day, when we
getting out of the U-Haul truck.
Yeah, literally, like I got into Mike's apartment and I was just like, my chest is just tight. And mentally, I didn't feel that. I wasn't like afraid. I don't really worry about things. That's something, it's a superpower and it's also a weakness. But I was just like, something bigger was feeling it. And I wasn't seeing it here, but here was feeling it. And then life started to hit and it really started to get heavy. And it was rough, you know, so I can only imagine that for a child. Yeah. Also, like we always talk about, dude, these things, like you said, that we noticed the power being transferred from like Jenny to John. I just noticed how they both were Jenny, John. That's cute. But every decision you make, everyone in your family is affected by it, especially your partner. If your partner is doing whatever she's doing, whatever that may be, even if it is raising the kids, still.
Yeah, that was like
a different
actually
way of
convenient.
living.
The fact that she was home. Imagine if she had her own job that she was excelling in.
And all that, and then also like just think about where they lived in Boca with the kids. There was still a community. They had a cul-de-sac. And then they go to Philadelphia. They have a huge home because it's like triple the salary that he's making. But it's secluded and low-key the woods. And it's a ways from town. You know what I mean?
It's next to farms.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, of course, like, you can't go through life worrying, but like, dude, like wife's alone by herself.
Yeah.
That's the reality that I feel like they didn't touch on, but like that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it was something.
The believability 100%, because I almost anticipate that one day, just kind of like another life decision hitting us and just being like, what do we do?
I mean, our latest one was like still crazy. It was a relief, but it was still crazy. Like we decided at first we were like thinking that we were going to move by the end of our lease, and we just kept on looking. Nothing made sense for us to up and leave, like just so something can like look better or quote unquote feel better. But it's like it was either going to cost more money or we were going to actually sacrifice more space. I'm like, this makes no sense. I know this sounds crazy, babe, but maybe we should just stay. And she was like, really?
Like I was literally like waiting for him to say that.
Like it was already on her mind, and she was probably like, I'm not going to say this because he's going to be pissed. But I was like, no, like let's stay. I'm down. And it's crazy. Trust me, it's not something like, woo. You know what I mean? Like this is great. It's just like, okay, let's keep it going. Yeah. And we are on year 3 in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy. You're kind of near the camera. Take it easy. Year 3 in Atlanta. Got a new dog, lost a puppy, like a lot of little stuff. Big stuff, sorry.
Changed the name. I finally have taken my husband's last name.
She loves me, guys. She
Nicole
really loves me.
Is back in Connecticut. Atlanta,
talk about
Nicole.
That. We're going a little off, but talk about that. Like, but not even the name change, but like the cool, crazy thing that you told me, like everything from Connecticut is kind of like.
Yeah, so we had another car also from Connecticut, not with us anymore. R.I.P. Pep.
R.I.P. We still got one more.
We do, yeah.
Shit, that means she's on her way out. Something better's coming. I'll receive it, Lord, whatever you got.
And this
drop it in my lap.
This car still has a Connecticut plate too, so when we get another car, whenever that time comes, it'll be a Georgia plate.
Yep.
Wild. Even like our furniture, from Connecticut, I would say most of it, at least like our living room furniture.
Yeah,
gone. We have Georgia furniture. My name.
Which honestly, them dressers are gonna go soon.
Yeah, they are. They are. I agree. My name, the dog, like little pieces that we had brought with us are leaving, and we're just like shedding our Connecticut skin.
It's weird.
Yeah, and we're blooming into AT aliens.
Yeah, it's actually something.
Georgians.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah,
I'm wearing an Atlanta,
Atlanta
Braves t-shirt right now.
I'm wearing my own brand, as you guys know, in every single
that
episode.
you didn't have in
that I didn't
Connecticut.
have.
So your wardrobe is even changing.
Exactly. You know, I mean, literally though, like I'm dressing different already.
Yeah.
Like while I live here.
I have bangs now.
Yeah, shorter hair. I mean, it's growing now, which is crazy. But yeah, a lot of stuff has changed, and just tying it back into the movie, like that's the one thing that's believable. That life is going. Life is in motion. You know what I mean? So definitely very sad. But I guess to tie it to the ending of the movie is, I think the best thing to do is really accept life for what it is. And I'm not trying to be like a new age whatever, but there's really no other option. There's not. You know, like we lost our puppy, and it was a very, very tough time for my wife. Still is at times. I never experienced that before. I was with LEILA for 7-8 years. Difficult to see it happen, difficult to see my wife go through something, and all I could do is be a body, you know, to like support and hold, and not really anything to say, just, you know, bring up some good times. But again, it's like, do we stop living? You know, we have a puppy that's here right now, and I thank God that I know that there's some people, like in life, when a parent is lost, and then there's one other parent, and sometimes they mistreat the other parent because there's so much hate and animosity.
The counseling session that I went to, the lady that I told you was frantic.
Yeah.
She did mention that she got another dog, and she said she gets mad at the other dog, and she's just like,
not the other one.
You're not Fiona. You're not Fiona. You know, like you don't love me the way that she loved me, and whatever. And it's like you said, we have
to move on because and move. And I think that's what's the roughest part. It's like a trend that I'm noticing is that we think moving on means forgetting, and it doesn't mean that at all. Like at all. You know what I'm saying? You move on with your life, but anytime there is a big moment in life, you will always remember that pet or family member, friend, like always. I mean, dude, I lost my uncle 10 years ago, and I still think about him to this day. And there's moments where I still get sad. I heard this great thing on another podcast that Mike LV has, and they said it was like grief. Grief is like I think they said the hallways of your elementary school. Like when you first went, you thought it was like the biggest thing ever. You were so tiny, and then you went back and visited for something, and you're like, "Whoa, did they shrink the school?" And it's like, no, you just like outgrew it, or you grew around it, something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, it didn't get smaller. Like as you got older, it didn't get smaller. It's just like grief. It doesn't get smaller, but you grow with it. I think that's what he said. Yeah, you know, so it's like that, like no matter what, you're going to let go. I feel like the body's natural instinct is to, you know, move on.
Because it's like a defense. Yeah. Right?
What, to move on?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought you were going somewhere else.
The other way. I kind of am. So like I think the body will naturally move on because time is moving. Life is happening. But the defense in a way is like you hold on to that. And you don't, I don't think the body's natural state is to hold on to it, you know, but you're fighting this thing that's making you worse in a way. Like you're going to get like heartbreak, you know, Ritz, chill. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be crying a lot. You're going to probably lose appetite, or you're worse, you'll eat more. Like there's so many things that will be affected because you won't go through that natural grieving process, which I just want to turn to that right now. Grief. Lamenting is not a bad thing. That's what I want people to...
It's necessary.
It is. It's a gift, if anything else. The fact that we have the ability to mourn and grieve and be sad, to deal and to honestly show homage and respect to the people that meant so much.
You honor them.
That meant so much to us. We have the ability to grieve, and it's beautiful. You know what I mean? And in a way.
And I think you're supposed to feel those things. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't process these feelings crazy because we just saw the Ed Sheeran documentary last night. Same thing. When you don't process them, you know, that's when you turn to other vices to deal with your grief. But I truly believe that you're supposed to feel these things because it's supposed to make you a more compassionate person.
Yeah.
Because we know that that's what the world lacks is compassion. Because we don't want to deal with these feelings. We don't want to deal with empathy and sympathizing with somebody and giving somebody grace because, you know, who knows what they're dealing with. You don't know what other people are dealing with. So, how in the world did we get here?
That's okay. I just think it's important about grief because at the end of the movie, they lose their puppy. He's not a puppy anymore. He's an old dog, and he starts to lose mobility. He doesn't want to eat, all these things, and they have to make the tough decision to either put him down or let him pass. And they put him down, you know, and some people won't. We didn't put LEILA down. But if that's not your story and you have to, it is what it is. But man, again, just the grief that, man, I just remember the little boy, man, the little boy Patrick who plays the son, the oldest son, and he just like, I think the daughter's like, I love you. Another one says something else like, take care, Marley, and then Patrick is like, I won't forget you or something like that. He's like, or he actually is. He says something very deep for like a little kid, and it's just so sad, man. And they just say, you know, their farewell, and John takes him to the vet, and they put him down, and he's just tore up. Then they bury Marley at the end, and they put like a stone where, you know, to know where he's at. But they do this great thing where they do a zoom out of when he's walking back. And the family's still there, you know, and it's just like, one, kind of like the dog had to do with the family, because in the beginning of the movie you see Jennifer Aniston dancing with the dog, and that's really what made John want to have a family, and now they have a family who loved that dog, you know, that they gave them this
and he
this
says
story
that
and these
too,
memories.
that really Marley was the beginning of their family. Like he thought that once they had kids they would be a family, but he saw that everything that Marley taught them was really the start of them having a family. Yeah,
and I think it's so true. Like, again, just going through what we went through with LEILA, and now what we're going through with Ritz. Like, again, obviously, not trying to draw comparisons, but I have to learn to be empathetic. Definitely. I am patient. I am empathetic. Patient, I am not. So I have a chance to learn these things with something that I can leave home, you know, so by the time, Lord willing, we have a child, adopt a child, whatever the case, hey, see? Hopefully I won't have to go, hey, to him. But, you know, I do feel like it's a low-key of preparation in some way, and I am just grateful. I'm sorry I've been looking at the camera a lot lately. I don't know why I'm not just looking at you.
I was doing that, too.
You too?
Yeah,
okay,
I was
sorry.
looking at the camera, too.
I just feel like it's just kind of serious, and I feel like I should look them in their eyes.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
But long story short, the last thing was just costume, stage, color, and editing, and I didn't even rate this. But honestly, I don't care what I said about anything. If anything, it's a 4.8 in my book. I give it a 4.8. The only thing that took it down was, what was it? The pace, the believability, in the sense of like, well, maybe that's more pace and kind of like writing kind of took it down a couple notches. But other than that, I think it's an incredible film. I love it. I will watch it time and time again.
Yeah.
This was probably my 10th time watching this movie. Own it on DVD, streaming it. Once it's off streaming platforms, we'll pop in the DVD. Like,
and just so you guys know, because this has been on my head for the last few minutes, this is how dogs are not just dogs. They become a part of you. They do start off your family. Armani and I both have these new watches, the Fitbit watches or whatever, and Ritz is the cover of both of them, on mine and his.
I don't know if you can see that.
This is a picture of Armani and Ritz, and then that's the three of us. So like
on Ritz's birthday.
On Ritz's birthday.
Yeah.
So like literally he is a part of our family. He is our child. He is my son.
He's not my child, but I love him. He's a great guy. I would never look at him as a child. But he is awesome, and he makes life so much fun.
He does. He's definitely given us energy that we thought we lost slower pace living with old lady.
Some days, but I do love this little guy. He is funny. He likes. He kind of has like the sixth sense and just will chill if you need to chill. He's cool. He's a cool guy and I love him. Shout out Ritzy.
I love, if there's any way possible, to put in the last words that John Grogan says in the film, where he's just like, a dog doesn't care about money, doesn't care about expensive cars, whatever. You give him your heart and he'll give you his.
Love it. Danny, if you could drop that in there, bro, appreciate it. Well, guys, shoot, this is episode 15. We did Marley and Me. Babe, we killed this episode. Let's go. Guys, if you don't already, please follow us on Instagram at The For Real Podcast. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are trying to do this better. Really quick, we'll be dropping this. I have a minute. We'll be dropping these on Mondays. After this episode, starting with episode 16, we will be dropping those on Mondays. We will be doing wallpapers on Wednesday still, but we'll do monologues on Thursdays. We'll change the name just so it sounds a little trendier. Blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. But, guys, thank you so much. We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in and always rocking with us. I appreciate you all.
Let me know if you guys have any movies that we have not done yet.
Recommendations.
Yeah, we were really... Because, listen, we were on a streak of terrible movies.
29 seconds.
So, yeah, thanks for listening. I hate when you do that.
It's just... It's going to cut on its own. Like, that's why.
That's fine. Then let it cut.
Nah, I don't like that. All right, guys, this has been the For Real Podcast with your host, Monty.
And Nicole.
We love y'all. Peace.